What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be looking at a Leopard Gecko morph tier list, and we're going to be ranking these morphs by visuals, not the issues that they cause, because I want to get into that in another video, just so that I can do more research and become more educated on that topic. So we're just going to hop right into this. You guys enjoy. We're going to start off with the white and yellow morph. The white and yellow morph is a cool looking morph. It's not exactly pretty in my opinion, so I wouldn't really aim for it, but it's definitely cool looking. I've heard the white and yellow morph described as the watered down enigma morph, as some lines can have balance issues, but like I said earlier, not really educated in this topic, going to have to do more research and maybe I'll make a video about it. So for the white and yellow morph, I think I'm going to put it in C, because I think it's cool looking, it's just not the best. Right, next up we have the lemon frost morph. This morph is known for its horrendous issues. It's not exactly pretty in my opinion. I don't think there's anything special about it. I don't like the sharp colors, like the sharp changes in colors, and they're just not that pretty looking to begin with. And it's almost impossible to look past the issues that this morph brings up, so it's going straight into the F tier. Next up, another problematic morph, the Enigma. Enigmas are pretty cool. I mean, it's not amazing, like I said earlier. It's not an amazing looking gecko. I think the spots instead of bands is a little goofy looking, but the white tail is pretty cool, because apparently Enigmas happen to have almost completely white tails, so I think that's pretty cool. But again, it's almost impossible to look past the issues that it brings up, so I'm going to put it in a D tier. Okay, here's a non-problematic morph, the Tangerine. The Tangerine's definitely higher up on my list because I do like how it looks. It's just not like an amazing morph. There's nothing special about it. It's just a simple orange, and I like that. So I'm not going to put it too high, but I'm also going to put it above the white and yellow. I'm going to put it in a B tier. Next up, we have the Rainwater Albino. Rainwater Albinos are one of 3 albino morphs that a leopard gecko can be. These albinos are more likely to have darker colored eyes and pink patterns, which I think is pretty cool. Nothing special, still. It is a cool pattern, so I will put it in a C tier. Next up, we have the Bell Albino, the second of 3 albinos that the gecko can be, and I like this one a bit better. These geckos happen to have a more lavender color, which is pretty cool. I think it goes nice with these colors on it as well, the yellow and orange. Unfortunately, Bell albinos are one of the 3 albinos that happen to have sight issues. Allegedly. I don't know if this is a proven thing, but they happen to have sight issues. But I will put it in the same tier as Rainwater, because I do like it, but it's, again, nothing special. Next up, the Tremper Albino. Tremper albinos happen to have a silver or pale eye color and have more brown markings, which I think is pretty cool. But again, personally, I don't have any strong opinions towards albinos, so we're going to put it in the same tier as the other ones. Now we're moving on to an amazing morph. I really like this morph, and I just learned about it when I was researching for this video. Diablo Blancos, a pure white leopard gecko with red eyes. It's really cool. I mean, I didn't even know this existed. I like the solid red eyes. Sometimes they're solid, sometimes they're like snake eyes. Either way, the red and white looks really cool, really aesthetically pleasing, very nice on the eyes. So, obviously, S tier. Next up, we have the Blazing Blizzard. The Blazing Blizzard is a blizzard mixed with one of the 3 albinos, and they tend to have a yellowish white coloring with no markings, and the coloring of the eye depends on the type of albino they're bred with. Unfortunately, like the Diablo Blanco, this morph consists of 2 morphs that have issues, the Blizzard having behavioral issues, and the albinos having eye issues. I do think these are pretty cool looking geckos, so I will put them higher up on the list, because again, we're going based on looks, not issues. I will put it into the C tier. Next up, we have the standard Blizzard. These happen to be a bit darker than the Blazing Blizzard, as they don't have any albino mixed in them. But like I mentioned before, lizards happen to have behavioral issues, temperamental issues, so they can be a little difficult to handle. But I do like the darker colors more than I did with the Blazing Blizzard, so I'm going to put this a tier above because of the darker color. Next up, we have the Murphy's Patternless Gecko. The Murphy's Patternless is born with patterns, ironically, but as it sheds and grows up, it loses the pattern. They do look very similar to the Blizzard Morph, in my opinion, so I'm going to put them in the same tier as the Blizzard. After that, we have the Dark Murphy's Patternless, which is basically the same thing, but darker colored, and I do like that more, so I will put that a tier above the normal Murphy's Patternless, purely because of the darker colors. Now, we have the Hypo. The Hypo is more of a trait, and Hypo means 10 or less markings on the leopard gecko's body. The head and tail don't count, if I remember correctly. And it can look good on certain morphs, but I prefer spotted geckos, so I'm going to put this in the C tier. Future Jake here. I meant to put the Hypo and SuperHypo along with the Bell Albino in B tier, so from now on, just imagine that they're there. I made a mistake when recording, so enjoy the rest of the video. Next up, we have the Maxnose. Maxnose are some of my personal favorites and always have been. I really like the black and white aesthetic that they have, and when they're younger, they have that bluish coloring that all Leos seem to have. So, just for the reasons that I've always loved them, I'm going to put them in an A tier. It is important to know that when you breed two Maxnose together and you get the next morph, a SuperSnow, they have been known to have some skull deformations, and it's pretty sad. I mean, it's definitely one of the problematic morphs out there. There are SuperSnows out there that don't have any issues, just like there's white and yellows that don't have any issues as well. But it is just sad to think about that just a morph can, or just breeding for colors can deform their skulls. But going into the SuperSnows, it's a max to no times 10. So it has to be better. I mean, it's just going above. I forgot to mention, SuperSnows have black eyes, solid black eyes, and I think that's pretty cool. Alongside the white and black coloring they already have, black eyes. After the SuperSnow, we have the SuperHypo, which is basically a patternless gecko on the body with markings on the tail and head. On the head occasionally, I believe. I'm not sure if it always counts, but it's basically the Hypo taken to the next level. So I'm going to put this on the same tier because it's basically the Hypo taken to the next level. So I'm going to put it on the same tier because I didn't really care for the Hypo. Now, we got the wild type. The wild type is the Leopard Gecko Morph. It is the original morph, the one that you would find in the wild. So it has to be an amazing looking morph. I really like the pattern. This is where they get their names from. The leopard spotting that they have, Leopard Gecko. And I really just like the coloring. I like how their tails have like a purplish sometimes, like my gecko does. My gecko has a bluish purple. So I'm going to put the wild type in A tier because it's not quite my favorite, but you can't beat the original. Right, let's take a look at how I rank these. For S tier, we got the Diablo Blanco and the SuperSnow. For A tier, we got Dark Murphy's Patternless, Maxnose, and the wild type. For the B tier, we got Tangerine, Blizzard, and Murphy's Patternless. For the C tier, we got White and Yellow, Rainwater Albino, Bell Albino, Tremper Albino, Blazing Blizzard, Hypo, and SuperHypo. For D tier, we got Enigma, and for F tier, we got Lemon Frost. Even though I said we were going to try to ignore the issues with morphs like Enigma and Lemon Frost, I still didn't really end up liking how they looked, so I'm putting them in a lower tier. That's all I have for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, leaving a like, and commenting. And while you're here, check out my other videos. Thank you.